Malaysia, a nation of promise and progress, proudly steps into the ASEAN Chairmanship in 2025. A decade ago, we held the chair as the ASEAN community was born in Kuala Lumpur. And now, Malaysia is once again ready to drive progress and empower the people of Southeast Asia. ASEAN is now more than an association of nations. It is a symphony of shared dreams, a chorus of hopes intertwined. It breathes with the rhythm of unity, with a vision that lights the path to a brighter tomorrow. Together we have forged a path towards peace, stability, and prosperity. Through the trials and triumphs, ASEAN has grown even stronger. Today, we stand as an economic powerhouse, poised to become the world's fourth largest economy. Our resilience is unshakable, our resolve unwavering. In 2025, we will forge ahead, bold, confident, and unyielding. This is ASEAN's moment to shine. As chair, Malaysia will embrace the future with a clear vision. We will champion inclusivity, creating a region where every voice soars and no one is left behind. We will drive sustainability in all we do, securing the long-term well-being of our people. Together, we will build a future where everyone can thrive.
ASEAN is a community of nations, of shared dreams, an excellent example of how neighbors can sit down and work together for the betterment of our people.
In 2025, under the guiding light of the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, a new chapter will begin. This marks the start of a 20-year journey, a journey where we rise not as separate nations, but as one. One community, bound by progress, peace, and purpose. One vision, driven by the promise of a greater future for generations to come. Together, we will shape a future of shared peace, stability, and prosperity where our unity drives us forward and our legacy endures. Welcome to where it all begins anew.
Selamat datang, welcome to Malaysia.
Okay.
Coffee has been introduced in Malaysia since 1779, when the Arabica variety originating from tropical areas in the African continent was brought in. There are 124 species of coffea in the world, but only two of them, namely Coffea arabica and Coffea robusta, are cultivated, traded and drunk by us. Some refer to Coffea liberica as the third coffee species, but it is not the general mainstream consensus. In 1875, coffee from the liberica variety was first introduced by Leonard Ray. At this point, local coffee enterprises began to grow. This liberica coffee variety is more resistant to high temperatures and hot conditions in Malaysia. The liberica tree thrives in tropical lowland climate conditions, where it grows at altitudes from sea level to 600 meters, with high humidity and warmer temperatures between 24 and 30 degrees Celsius. Liberica has lush growth genetics where the plant can grow between 5 and 20 meters tall, have thick leaves, and produce large fruit. Anyone who visits Malacca will be hooked on the refreshing aroma of coffee.
Saya bincang-bincang dengan ada kawan lah. Bincang kawan kata okay, kita buat tanam kelapa. Kemudian kelapa nak tanam koko ke nak tanam kopi? Sebab kampung ni dulu koko dengan kopi. Orang tua saya dulu tanam kopi, kemudian tanam koko. Sebab harga kopi dulu murah.
For centuries, the cultivation of Coffea liberica species has not been a universal success. At the time, the lack of understanding of the species and the intense comparison with Coffea arabica was the reason why. Often, Coffea liberica is referred to as a species with a lower flavor profile and poor quality. Today, in addition to growing in Western and Central Africa, Coffea liberica is also cultivated in the Philippines, Indonesia, Seychelles, the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, and Malaysia.
Baru dia dekat situ, baru dia dalam tempoh 3 jam.
Nak jaga, kena jaga kualiti, nak jaga kualiti dia kena jaga suhu dia lah, kepanasan dia tu. Tempat setakat ni kita pakai mesin biasa je. Belum ada yang pakai yang moden belum lagi lah.
In comparison, Liberica has larger trees, leaves and fruit than Arabica and Robusta. Because it can grow large and tall, it requires seasonal pruning and proper spacing between trees. Although Robusta trees are very robust, they are shallow-rooted, making them highly susceptible to extreme weather and root diseases. On the other hand, the Liberica tree has a wider root system, where it grows deeper, hence its resistance to the aforementioned. In addition, the extensive root system of the Liberica tree allows cultivation in almost all soil conditions. Not only do they attract local tourists, their plantations also receive visits from coffee lovers from Japan and Indonesia. There are about 2,000 coffee farmers in Malaysia, mainly in Kedah, Johor and Sabah, with the majority of coffee varieties planted being Liberica and Robusta. However, Malaysia only produces 0.16% of coffee globally, importing 97% for domestic consumption. In other words, local coffee production is only able to meet 3% of domestic demand.
Tapi sekarang ni macam ni, sekarang ni dia panas, musim panas dia tak keluar bunga. Jadi dah 3 bulan tak ada buah ni. Tak banyak.
Kira dia bergantung pada cuaca.
Bergantung pada cuaca. Satu lagi baja pun penting juga. Baja pun penting. Macam ni hujan ni betul baja kan, ni baja ni. Dia punya bunga sekarang dah keluar bunga kan, dah keluar potek. Tu semua bunga-bunga yang dah tu dia keluar potek. Ni dalam sebulan lagi ke 2 bulan ni dia lah.
Although the cultivation of coffee trees in Malaysia is not as good as other producing countries, the great potential of the industry should not be wasted by local entrepreneurs. Tabuik is a local festival practiced among the Minangkabau Pariaman community in the coastal area of West Sumatra, Indonesia, in order to commemorate Ashura Day, the killing of Sayyidina Imam Hussein, grandson of the Prophet Muhammad. The festival includes a reenactment of the Battle of Karbala and the playing of tassa and dole drums. The term Tabuik in particular refers to the ceremony for carrying the corpse that is carried during the celebration. Although it was initially a Shia ceremony, but the majority of the population in Pariaman and other districts who performed similar ceremonies, mostly Sunnis. In Bengkulu it is also known as Tabut.
Banget, tadi excited banget ngelihatnya dari sampai sini dari jam 4 langsung ke pantai ngelihat tabutnya. Senang banget.
Thousands flock to a coastal town in western Indonesia to watch a clash between ornate mythical effigies before they are cast into the sea, in a centuries-old ritual born from a Shiite holy day of mourning. Dozens of men parade 2 horse-shaped winged statues across the town of Pariaman on the island of Sumatra. The Tabuik festival itself refers to the use of the Arabic language tabut, which means a wooden box. Based on the legend, at the Tabuik festival, a burak artificial creature always appears to carry a wooden box tabut on its back. This ritual itself only appeared around 1826 to 1828 AD. Tabuik in those years was thick with the influence of the Middle East brought by the Indian ancestors of the Shia followers.
Tabuik pada hari ini merupakan suatu event pariwisata menjadi magnet bagi masyarakat yang di ranah di rantau untuk datang ke Preman. Karena tidak ada Tabuik, mungkin masyarakat Preman tidak bisa pulang ke Preman, jarang untuk melihat kampungnya.
The instrument used to accompany this traditional ceremony is the musical instrument jendang tasa, or widely known as jendang tabuyik. The shape of the tabuyik drum has 2 faces that can be saved. The face of the tabuyik drum, or tasa drum, is made from goat skin. The height of the drum is around 54 centimeters, with a diameter of 46 centimeters.
Kita rasa jumlah pengunjung sangat banyak sekali, mungkin ratusan ribu orang datang ke Preman untuk melihat melihat tabui dan berwisata di Preman. Sehingga dampak yang ditimbulkan dari tabui ini adalah banyak kuliner-kuliner, banyak tempat-tempat wisata, kemudian penginapan yang semuanya penuh di Preman. Sehingga berdampak kepada ekonomi masyarakat.
The purpose of the cultural festival is not only to embrace traditional ceremonies to become stronger as part of Indonesia's cultural wealth, but also to embrace domestic and international tourists. The broader purpose is to make everyone able to learn and explore the Pariaman culture itself. Since being promoted as part of cultural tourism from Pariaman, tourist visits to the area have increased. In addition to having been exhibited in Germany, the Tabuyik Cultural Festival has also been exhibited in the United States in 2005. The cultural festival is emphasized as a national cultural heritage that must be protected and preserved.
The logo of Colombia's Conference of the Parties, the Biodiversity Summit to be held in the city of Cali, represents the Anirida flower, a species endemic to Colombia. The Anirida design features 36 petals, which represents the United Nations' 23 biodiversity targets and the 13 ecoregions prioritized in Colombia's National Development Plan. This will represent the message of peace with nature, which means the representation of the unique theme brought by biodiversity. The flower is endemic to Guinea, and it is a flower that never dies. Its petals never fall apart.
Bueno, la cantidad que tenemos en este momento, 7.9, digamos, ya registrada. Tenemos disponibilidades de 14 hectáreas para la recolección de las plantas, de las flores en este momento. Nosotros la naturaleza, la selva es la vida, ¿sí? Desde ahí partimos. Desde ahí nosotros los indígenas lo respetamos y tenemos que ir coordinado, relacionado con la naturaleza, sin dañarla. Mire el otro acá. Todo esto son semillas.
¿Y esa se coge?
Pero se ve. Que le ayudo. Ay. Están compactando, pisando los colinos. Lo que hicieron ayer es sacar la semilla y ubicarla todavía en todos los huecos. Como ya se llenó todo eso en los huecos, en este momento están sacando la tierra para pisarla.
Sí, apenas esto ya pasa, eso ya. La verdad es que eso antes se mira.
Por el envío
Lo pagan a la empresa aérea. Es el lugar con refrigeración en donde nosotros hacemos todo el trabajo de limpieza, desinfección, amarre, división e hidratación de la flor de Niria antes de invierno.
Perfecto.
El Diego está ya está. Ah, bueno, perfecto.
Yo la marché ya.
Ah, bueno. Limpia. La flor de Niria se denomina flor eterna. ¿Por qué es eterna? Porque ella no se acaba, porque obviamente se va deshidratando y va quedando como cafecita con el color. Ustedes la pueden ver y tenemos flores de 25 años, entonces se utiliza mucho pues para el amor eterno, para las parejas que viven mucho tiempo.
Están copiando el discurso.
Cada flor podría llegar a costar $1.50, pero depende del cliente y del país. Es decir, alguien me dijo, estábamos negociando con un cliente español y me dice, entienda que Holanda y Alemania son distintos a España. Ok, entiendo. Entonces, porque nos interesa también que se vaya conociendo la flor.
This is the first time that a flower has been used as a symbol in Colombia's Conference of the Parties on Biodiversity. The celebration in Cali will not only promote environmental conservation but is also expected to catalyze regional economic development. It is expected to generate a significant economic impact estimated at 87 billion pesos. An estimated 60% of this figure will come from increased demand for logistic services, which will boost the local sector and create new job opportunities.
Bent over a magenta chiffon fabric, an elderly Hong Kong tailor wearing thick glasses meticulously stitched on embroidered butterflies, working to transform the shimmering material into an elegant, high-collared Chinese dress known as a cheongsam. Born in Jiangsu Province, China, north of Shanghai, Yan was 13 when his uncle brought him to Hong Kong in 1949 to work as an apprentice in a workshop, where the school dropout was discovered to be a young talent. Western fashion became popular after World War II, and the rise of the garment manufacturing sector in Hong Kong squeezed the cheongsam out of the fashion limelight while pushing tailoring workshops out of business. Today, the traditional technique to make the dress is critically endangered. Few people still wear and care about it, but they want to preserve it no matter how niche it has become because it's part of China culture.
最難啊！最難咪財山咯，財山最難啊！點解嘅？梗係啦，你要睺準佢嗰個尺寸啊，嗰個準繩啊，咁啊要跑個粉線啊，啲粉線跑得粉線啊，睇落去順唔順啊，靚唔靚啊，咁啊先剪咯。
Cheongsam making technique has been recognized as part of Hong Kong and mainland China's cultural heritage. Yan said the withered trade offers little chance to pass on his craft. You can't make a living making qipao, as it's no longer in trend, Yan said.
退休睇唔到啦嘛，就眼又睇唔到啦，樣樣都唔得啦，唔退休都唔得。
你而家仲有幾多件未做晒啊？
幾多件啊？唔知啊，好多仲要10幾件啊。
往來屯門、東涌、沙螺灣同大澳嘅渡輪已經停駛。
呢
家會啦，少咗個即係習慣咗咁多年啊，佢翻嚟有時望下佢啊，係咯，即係因為你個年紀大嘛，梗係唔捨得啦。我都喺度都20年咯，係啊，唔捨得㗎。哎呀，真係好難講啊！希望有人繼承咯，因為佢有好多學生，佢又勤力又教人咯，嚇咁佢都好多學生㗎又，係啊，梗係唔捨得啦！啊，你講起我都有少少眼濕濕啊！
Nowadays, orders typically come from older women who need a statement dress to attend there. Children's weddings, and each piece takes yen weeks to finish and costs several thousand Hong Kong dollars. My generation is mostly gone, Yen said.
In the heart of the Bolivian Amazon, the small town of Urubica has become an unexpected hub for violin making, a tradition deeply rooted in its indigenous Guareo culture.
El abuelo de mi padre fabricaba violín. También él lo ayudaba a su abuelo. Ahí aprendió también con su abuelo. Semanal de trabajo. Porque hay que trabajar con instrumentos, trabajando con paciencia, para que salga bien sonido.
Urubica, located over 300 kilometers, 200 miles, north of Santa Cruz, is a town with deep musical roots. In the early 19th century, Franciscan missionaries arrived in the area and were struck by the musical talents of the Guareo people. The missionaries, recognizing their artistic inclinations, introduced the violin as a tool for evangelization.
Dentro de mi pueblo hay muchas provisionales y muchos niños también, que algunos no tienen violín y tenemos siempre esa visión de fabricar y para nosotros mismos, para nuestros parientes.
Papu, the head of the Urubica Institute of Artistic Training, Choir and Orchestra, oversees one of the most prestigious Baroque music schools in Bolivia. With about 600 students, the institute is not only a beacon of musical education but also home to a special group of about 20 students who are learning the ancient art of violin making.
En tiempo de las misiones, los misioneros enseñaron a fabricar los instrumentos de violín. Entonces, los propios nativos aprendieron de los misioneros y ellos mismos comenzaron a fabricar su propio instrumento.
Historian Wan Yurinovi explains that the Guareo people believe that when someone dies, their soul must sing and play the tukwara, a bamboo flute, to reach the great ancestor, their god. This belief may explain why music has always held such significance in the culture.
Antiguamente, estos violines solo se podría tocar en la iglesia, porque era considerado ángel popendar, instrumento de la mano del ángel.
Over time, the local people adopted the craft, and it became an integral part of their cultural heritage.
Era un medio de evangelización. Dice que era un medio para atraer también a los propios nativos.
Myanmar, once a popular alternative for travelers seeking a quieter Southeast Asian destination, has seen its tourism industry severely affected by the 2021 military coup and ongoing civil conflict. The UNESCO-listed site of Bagan, known for its ancient Buddhist temples, has been hit hard, with tourist numbers dropping drastically. The 50-square-kilometer site is also strewn with stupas, temples, murals and sculptures, some of which date back to the 11th to 13th centuries. In 2016, 3.4 million international tourists visited, but this figure fell to around 200,000 in 2021 and climbed modestly to over 1 million in 2023, mainly from China and Thailand. Bagan's tourism-dependent economy is struggling. Many hotels and restaurants are closed, leaving vendors and guides without work. Economic sanctions and the depreciation of the local currency have worsened conditions, while controversies, such as the Chinese film No More Bets highlighting human trafficking, have further damaged Myanmar's image. Locals facing dwindling income and a declining tourism sector express hope for peace and economic improvement, with one shop owner emphasizing the hardship many are enduring.